Orange.
I'd like to call to order the East Chicago Common Council regular meeting for Wednesday, June 22nd, 2022. Would everyone please stand for the pledge of allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Second District Councilman Lenny Francis, present. Third District Councilman Terrence Hill, here. Fourth District Councilwoman Stacy Winkle.
Present.
Fifth District Councilman Robert Garcia. Sixth District Councilwoman Gilda Orange.
Present.
Councilwoman at Large Deborah Bolaños.
Here.
Councilman at Large Dwayne Ransford. Here. Councilman at Large Kenneth Monroe. Present. Council President Monica Gonzalez.
Here. Minutes of council meetings.
Minutes for March 23rd, year 2022, and May 25th, year 2022.
So move, Madam President.
Motion made by Councilman Franciski, seconded by Councilman Monroe. Roll call, please.
Francis,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yes.
Garcia, Orange,
Yes.
Bolaños,
Yes.
Francis,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes. Communication from mayor,
I have none.
communication from department heads,
Accounts payable warrant 060922 CC, 061322 CC, 062222 CC, and 063022 CC.
So move. Second.
motion made by Councilman Franciski, seconded by Councilman Hill. Roll call, please.
Francis,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Bolaños,
Yes.
Ransford,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Payroll warrant biweekly 061022.
So move. Second.
Motion made by Councilman Monroe, seconded by Councilman Hill. Roll call, please.
Francis,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Bolaños,
Yes.
Ransford,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes. Committee reports? Are there any board reports? Ordinances on first reading?
Ordinance 22-0031. Sponsor Mayor Anthony Copeland. Additional appropriations ordinance for Department of Redevelopment.
So move on the first, second reading.
Motion made by Councilman Hill, seconded by Councilwoman Orange for first and second reading. Any questions? I'm sorry, Mr. Rivera, can you go ahead and explain the ordinance?
Yes, good evening, Mr. President, members of the council, attorney here, and the clerk's office, with Mr. Vivian, and all the audience here today too, especially the young people back. This ordinance is basically just to ensure ourselves that we'll finish the end of the year with the amount of dollars that we need in order for us to be able to pay our bills. And so then that way, I'm just asking if it's possible, we can have the ordinance passed and see the first and second with $200,000 that is required and coming out again 0245. And I'm up here also to answer any questions.
Does anybody have a question? I'm sorry. I do have a couple of questions. I know that something similar came before us, and we have boss recorders, and I still don't understand why we have a recording, why we are paying a company to record the minutes when we have a secretary.
Secretary, I don't have anymore. She left.
She left.
Yes, she resigned. She went on to another job. And so right now, you're seeing the secretary right here.
So the last time that you came forward for the monies, you didn't have a secretary also?
No, at that time I did have a secretary at that time.
And we were still paying two.
Yeah, but this is a little different, okay? HUD requires, and the state boards of accounts requires us to make sure that the minutes are being recorded. At one time, before I even took this job, there was some write-ups that were given. And it was because there was not enough information that was clear enough for the state boards of accounts of HUD to be able to interpret. And these people are phenomenal when it comes to looking at the minutes. And I would ask anyone who's interested in looking at maybe one or two of them to look at them. They're very deep and very in-depth. They have a table of contents and also has indexes and various other different things. And I think Ms. Bolanos, who's on our board, could attest to that, that was some very good minutes.
Councilwoman Winfield?
Yes, so that means that you will not be getting, this will be your only secretary, your boss secretary. That'll
No,
be-
this is, when you look at this is the reporting of the stenographer, just like, for instance, if you go to some of the other boards, they have stenographers as well. If you go check the board that works, they have one, and various other departments have. In this case, I need this stenographer because these stenographers are very professional what they do. They also come out of the court system. And they do a phenomenal job. And I want to make sure that all our minutes are perfect because even today, with the state boards of accounts, they've asked me for my minutes. At least two of them. And I haven't heard anything back from them. That's because I know they're very good minutes.
So you still looking for another secretary, that's what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the secretary, that's a different level.
What the-
It's a different level in terms of their
Should be a
responsibility.
secretary
Secretary gets
or-
paid $200 for each meeting that they attend, or at least 136 or something like that. And so they take care of the agenda, they take care of the items that are coming from different various building departments and other departments. So that way she gathers it, puts it together, and then we submit it over to our attorney. She reviews it, and then we place it under for the meeting that we had.
The only reason I'm asking that question is because ours was taken away. So what we just have Vivian as the clerk, which is normally our secretary, but we always have a secretary. So I'm just looking at.
That I can answer.
Security services for $65,000.
Uh-huh.
What security firm are you hiring for that?
That's the federal. We haven't hired anybody. We're still working with them
You're still working with the Federal Protection Agency?
Yeah. at this point in time.
Are there any more questions? Roll call, please.
Franciski,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Abstain.
Orange,
Yes.
Bolaños,
No.
Ransford,
Yes.
Monroe,
No.
Gonzalez.
No. Yes, I'm sorry, say again.
Can we turn the TV screen?
Want the screen to be turned?
Yeah. That's was not.
Oh, I see.
Thank you.
Thank you, Clerk Revere.
Don't thank me yet. I want to break. Yeah. Better?
Good enough. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Closer?
Next ordinance on first reading.
Ordinance 22-0032. Sponsor Mayor Anthony Copeland and Councilman Lenny Franciski and Councilwoman Gilda Warren. Additional appropriations ordinance appropriating certain monies received from the local fiscal recovery fund for payment and additional premium paid for eligible city employees designated as essential workers.
Madam President,
Yes.
I motion to table this.
Okay, I have a motion to table ordinance 220032. Second by Councilwoman Orange. I'm sorry, Councilwoman Winfield. Any questions on the matter?
Yes. Who am I asking?
I'm sorry, say again.
I have questions, but who am I speaking to?
Is there anybody here to speak on this ordinance 220032?
I thought there was a motion to table.
Okay, so you don't have.
We're supposed to debate a motion to table.
Okay.
You don't give a vote. Advice.
That's correct.
Gotta give a roll call.
Roll call.
Franciski,
No,
Hill,
absolutely not.
Winfield,
Yes.
Orange,
No.
Bolaños,
Yes.
Ransford,
No.
Monroe,
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Table.
Four.
Clarification, Clerk Medina, please. On the motion.
That's correct. It failed 4-4.
I'm gonna say, can I ask my question?
Oh, yes, okay. There's not a motion. There's not a motion. No, the motion failed to table.
Right.
So
Now you need a motion to adopt. Here.
Second.
Now you're. Now you can ask.
Okay, question, because I'm.
Good evening, Charlie, Ready Law Department.
Orange.
Okay, so the question is I have, and I went over it and I understand the bonuses, but the question I have is, how is it gonna be broken down? Are they gonna receive it in one lump sum? Or is it gonna be quarterly like they used to do in June, August, and December? I just needed a little bit more clarification on what's going on.
And
How's
that's
the district?
a good question, Councilwoman. It's not clarified either in the course of the additional appropriation ordinance or in the resolution amending the plan. To answer your question is the plan for paying the premium pay is to do it in two installments, similar to what we did last year. That's why it's referred to as the 2022 premium pay program.
So it would definitely be in two
Two
installments.
installments and includes all employees, including public safety.
Anybody else have any questions? I do. It's more of a comment. This appropriation is dealing with the American Rescue Plan funds. We have a meeting with the mayor and the committee that we selected to meet with him tomorrow. And I think this is too preliminary we should wait in order to have that meeting, and then we can come back and have a better understanding of where else the other monies are going to. The other reason is, we're asking to pass now on first and second reading, and we have no documentation of exactly where it's going. I know you're telling me, but I'd like to see it. And usually when we're asking for so much money, and I think it's 1.6 million dollars, I think it's more than appropriate for us to have some kind of documentation in front of us and not be have just pass it blinded. Like I said, I understand that you're explaining it, but I'd like to see it on a piece of paper. So I cannot support passing it on first and second reading.
The document you referred, your companion to the additional appropriation ordinance is the resolution, the first resolution on the agenda, which explains the breakdown to essential workers, and in the city, all employees have been designated and are deemed to be essential workers. If you vote this down, Councilwoman, you pass the first and second reading, we still need a public hearing and a final passage 2 weeks from now or whenever. If you vote it down, then we have to start over again, and the essential workers, all of the employees in the city will then be deprived of their up to $3,500 of premium pay, quote, bonus, unquote. So I would recommend and suggest, with respect, that you don't vote it down. We have plenty of time. You do have a meeting with the mayor tomorrow. I'm sorry I'm not going to be there, but voting it down is counterproductive, and you're depriving, of course, the essential workers in the city of the benefit that they richly deserve.
I do not think that it's counterproductive. I don't understand why it has to come from ARP money. Didn't say that we have the money in our accounts to pay and give a bonus. Why it has to come from ARP money is my question. And
There are four
my
categories.
concern, because we have until 2024 to spend that money. We gave a bonus and they are more than deserving of that bonus. But the other thing is that the people who deserve the bonuses are the people who work on the front lines with COVID, and they're not receiving that bonus. Am I correct?
They are going to receive it unless you vote it down.
No, I'm talking about the contractors that work, the nurses. They're not receiving it. Is that correct?
This is for city employees, not, and
Right.
independent contractors are not qualified.
Right.
I guess
So
they may
that's-
be.
So that's what I want to talk about. And that's why I cannot support it.
Premium pay is an eligible expense under the APRA guidance. That's why it's coming out of premium pay.
Right, and so, but why don't we just use our city money? Why are we using ARP money? That's my question.
Because it's an eligible expense along with the other three categories. And I
Yeah, my
hope you
concern is
familiarize
I'd rather
yourself with
give
that
the health
guidance for your meeting
department-
tomorrow.
I'd rather get the health department $1 million so they can continue. Lenny, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I mean, I get the health department, I get the police department, I get our public safety, but it's still some of these people that were behind the lines too, our public workers.
I'm not
Wait,
saying-
no, excuse me, I got the
Go
floor.
ahead.
They were out there doing their work, And it's not just the public works, even the ladies that were doing payroll, everyone else that is here. There's 4 different categories we can take this money. Yeah, we can still talk about that, but they deserve this money. They earned this money. So, maybe you might not think they do. I don't know,
That's not
But-
fair. No, now.
but they deserve it. They earned it, and they can. That's good. Thank you.
Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say, we're taking it to another route. That's not what we want. I mean.
Well, maybe that's
we
not your
want-
route. Maybe that's not your
No,
route.
Order.
Please, and I just wanted to clarify that. And my reason was, again, because of the meeting tomorrow with the mayor. I thought that was going to be, that's an important meeting. I want to make sure that I understand everything before I place a vote.
Councilwoman Orange?
And I do believe that it should be passed in first and second, and you have 2 weeks, you got the meeting with the mayor. You know you got 5 votes, or at least 4.5, and you guys can vote it down the next time. But it should be passed so that at least you can have a public hearing, and people can get their money in time.
Councilwoman Hill?
I sit there with Councilman Lenny and Councilwoman Gilda, because some of these employees out here, they work hard through the pandemic. And I think it's only fair that they be rewarded with what they've done. We have the health department, of course, and some of the police department. We, like you said, we have these other workers too that did a doggone good job during that pandemic. So I'm all for it and passing.
Councilwoman Whitaker?
So I'm listening to, and my question was asked basically, but you said public safety is and will be rewarded.
Yes, Councilman.
Also, and once that meeting come in, because we have other funding, which is not through AFP money, that the contractors could possibly maybe be able to get into that. I don't know if that's something that you can't do.
It's certainly a worthy kind of discussion.
Okay.
I'm
Chief
not
executive.
suggesting otherwise.
The chief executive has to designate them in order for them to receive these funds.
But it's a suitable topic for your meeting tomorrow,
Yeah.
which I
that's-
know there's 4 of you attending.
Councilman Ransford?
Which contractors are we referring to?
The people who are actually like taking swabs or giving shots or anything that has to do with the COVID clinic.
Now, if we pass it on first and second, can we add that at a later time?
I don't think so, because that's a question for you, Attorney Allegretti.
The threshold question is there, how much more will this cost? Because the additional appropriation has to be sufficient to pay for all the premium pay that you want to make. And there would be an adjustment to the resolution, which is the companion of the additional appropriation ordinance that we're talking about right now. But that works won't be out of the barn. We can always do that. And the plan is only just needs a resolution. That's 1 meeting, no public.
Did you get their answer?
Not really. But how many,
I don't have the amount. I'd have to ask, but I know our department head, I think she's, correct me if I'm wrong, is Diana Burns under contract? Or is she a city employee?
She has an employment agreement.
So she's not a city employee.
Contract employee.
So like Diana, who was out there the whole time, doing all this COVID stuff, she won't get the bonus either.
she's.
Respectfully, Councilman Ransford, it requires the chief executive to designate certain people to meet that threshold. So I think what Monica and I had talked about earlier, and I think what Joe just mentioned, is it's probably an appropriate topic to bring up tomorrow. And if there would be an addition, then that resolution would get amended, but I believe it would need an additional appropriation if it's anything above and beyond what you guys are talking about today, that's before you.
And the other question is.
And specifically, the additional appropriation after past first and second reading can be further enlarged, amended to increase the amount if in the event the council and the mayor agree that additional persons should participate. So the only speed bump here would be a defeat of this resolution tonight.
And let me clarify something really quick. It's not the council. The council wants, I'm sure you guys all want Diana and all the other nurses to get it. It's up to the mayor to appropriate. Very clear. It's up to the mayor to appropriate that fund and make that clear. Yes.
As far as the nurses, and I know, I heard what you said as far as Diana Burns, she's a contractor. But as far as all the nurses that were swabbing, weren't they all employees of Chicago?
No.
Now, are they hired from a company or how were they hired?
They were hired through the city as contractors.
Okay.
Because as emergency, because we needed emergency nurses to do that.
Okay, thank you.
That's, go ahead, Councilwoman Orange.
Well, we came to this crossroads once before when it was the retirees to get the money. And then the ones that wasn't retired got the money. And we came to an impasse and we got that done, so that, but one thing about it is, you gotta know how many people we're talking about. Are we talking people that have gone on, never been there, there was only small days, the ones that stayed on for a long period of time? That's something that you could find out from Diana and take into the meeting with you. I'm sure she would have it. And we could add them in at additional, at additional time before the third reading. And also, I know they were contract employees, but were they getting paid from the state health department? Or did we hire them and we paid them?
As far as I know, the city has not given any supplemental income to the health department. They are basically begging money from the foundations of Chicago. And also they're getting reimbursed from the state in order to pay those workers. The city has not given them any money for those workers. One of the things I want to make clear also is that it's the idea to table it so we can just bring it back, so that we can have that conversation. And I agree with all of you, all of our workers need that money. Gas prices are going up, groceries are going up, but I want to make it fair, and I don't think it's fair. And again, we could talk about it all day about how many people we want to have the money or include, but it's up to the mayor. Yes.
Question. When you say a public hearing, can you explain that?
Additional appropriation ordinances like this just require a public hearing, and we usually do it on the second prior to final adoption.
Right,
So you can't, that's why you couldn't suspend the rules, because there hasn't been a
Okay.
public hearing.
I kind of understood that part about it, but the difficulty that I have with that is that every time there's a public hearing, I look at the audience and no one's there. And I understand that maybe some people don't care, but I think something like this is very important that we get that information out, both in English and in Spanish, to our community.
I can only say that the statute prescribes the manner in which the publication of the notice of public hearing occurs, and it's published in 2 local newspapers. Now, we can certainly be, meaning you, can certainly supplement that in any appropriate way you think is appropriate.
So, thank you.
Councilwoman Woodfield.
Who's going to be in that meeting with you?
Yes, and Lenny and Councilman Hill were notified on it. I'm not sure if they're able to come. Time is the meeting, so. What time is it? It's 11 o'clock. So, is there any other questions?
Any event that is delayed today on passing and it doesn't pass, what would that just be into the next 2?
Well,
Into the next
the
meeting?
council's housekeeping ordinance prohibits repeated, there has to be a delay of some time fixed by the ordinance for bringing up an additional, bringing up a matter that was defeated or not passed, which is the same thing as being defeated. And that's I'm suggesting to the council that's undesirable. There's plenty of time to figure out what amendments should be done to this additional appropriation ordinance, rather than just defeating it, just because, there's maybe 4 votes to vote no. It's counterproductive.
Is there any more questions, comments? I'm sorry.
I'm not sure Terry just said he can't come, can someone else go on his place?
Except if someone is able.
Well, he was going in first.
Okay, we can discuss that
I'm
after.
just asking, I just want to be on record.
So right now, we are voting on first and second reading unless, like I said, unless we are able to table. Now, if we vote on first and second reading, I want to make clear that we are passing, knowing that some of the essential workers at the health department will not be getting paid. And we don't know if that amendment will ever come. Roll call, please.
Francisco,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Bolaños,
No.
Francis,
Yes.
Monroe,
No.
Gonzalez.
No. Motion passes. Ordinances on second reading,
We have no ordinances on second reading.
ordinances on third reading,
Ordinance 22-0030. Sponsor Mayor Anthony Copeland. Appropriations ordinance, Health Maintenance Fund 0212, COVID vaccine insurance reimbursement.
Attorney Jones,
This ordinance, I believe, lost support. I don't recommend the council move on this ordinance at this time. I believe that the mayor withdrew his support of this ordinance.
yes, and ordinance 220030 is an appropriation ordinance for the Health Maintenance Fund for COVID vaccine insurance reimbursement. I'd like to explain this real quick. The state earmarked this fund to the health department to reimburse for people and equipment, and the mayor has decided that not to give them the money. And we're talking about, I think it's $240,000. So right now we have our department head asking the state for more money, asking our congressmen and our representatives to help them with money in order to keep the health department running. As of the end of June, I have been notified that the health department is going to lose employees because they're not getting them their funding, including this right. Move on to resolutions.
Resolution 22-0005. Sponsor Mayor Anthony Copeland, Councilman Lenny Francisci, and Councilwoman Gilda Warren. Resolution amending the plan for dispersing money received through the American Rescue Plan Act 2021 and depositing in the city's ARP Coronavirus Local Fiscal Recovery Fund 0176 to fund the 2022 premium pay program.
Consistent with our previous discussion, and in light of the fact that you do have a meeting with the mayor to discuss the American Rescue Plan expenditures and eligibility of expenditures, it might be logical, and I don't think the administration would have any objection, if it matters, to this resolution being tabled until the next meeting, at which time you'll have a fuller understanding of what you and the mayor might agree on, or if anything, for the premium pay program of 2022. And if the appropriation needs to be enlarged, and if the plan as stated in this resolution needs to be expanded to include other persons. Just suggestion.
Attorney Jones,
I agree.
I have a motion to table this resolution.
Second.
Motion to table made by Councilwoman Warren, seconded by Councilman Ransford. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Francisco,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Bolaños,
Yes.
Rancifer,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes. Next resolution, please.
Resolution 22-0006, sponsored Councilwoman Deborah Bolaños. Resolution of the Common Council, of the City of East Chicago, Indiana, endorsing and urging passage of Indiana legislation establishing driver cards for undocumented Indiana residents.
Would you like to speak on it, or actually make a motion? Would you like to make a motion?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to accept.
Resolution,
Resolution.
resolution 220006. There a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Ransiford. Would you like to speak on the motion quickly?
Yes, we have some of the youth here that are representing the organization from Indianapolis that came all the way to support a few of the people that are organizers here in Northwest Indiana. I just want to say that how important it is. I know that there's an issue with kids attending our schools. The parents are afraid to take them to school because of not having driver's license. They can't take them to their activities, doctor's appointment. They have to depend on other people for daily things that we take for granted and every day of our lives. So that's all I have to say about that.
Roll call, please.
I have a question.
Yes. Councilman.
Okay, I was reading this now. Why is it undocumented Indiana residents? Why they can't get documents?
They can't get documents. They're illegal in this country. So the state of Indiana does not grant the driver's license. There's 16 other states in the United States that do grant driver's license for the undocumented. And when we talk about undocumented, we talk about all people of all races, not just Mexicans.
Does anybody else have a question? Roll call, please.
Franceschi,
Yes.
Hill,
Abstain.
Winfield,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Bolaños,
Yes.
Rancifer,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes. Resolution passes. Yes, Councilwoman.
Sherman Jones, will this be sent downstate?
I believe the group that's here today will use this in their lobbying when they move for the next legislative session to reintroduce those bills. That's probably the plan. That's how it usually goes. They rally towns and cities and counties that support it. And then they go downstate and say, we have the support of the northern Indiana counties in their lobbying.
Have they been to like Hammond and Gary and?
I believe that they have. If someone can speak which one of those has passed it so far.
Yeah, so the,
Come up and state your name, and then.
hello? Good afternoon, hi. My name is Dara Marquez. I am from Elkhart, Indiana, here in support of Dominga as well.
Hi, mi nombre es Dominga Cortés. I resident East Chicago, Indiana for 21 years.
And the question in regards to other cities having approved the resolution at the moment, it's currently South Bend in St. Joseph County that has approved it earlier this year. And we are moving towards other cities and counties in general to continue to learn about the intention of the driver's card bill. This is about the 5th year now that this campaign has been ongoing, and it's finally gained bipartisan support. So this upcoming year, the intention is also to have a bipartisan bill again, and that's how we're moving along, telling our stories and ensuring that more families can continue to drive without fear in the years to come.
There's also I know a page on Facebook that has the different cities that have passed resolutions similar. There's more than South Bend, I know that, but I don't have that page. Yes, Councilwoman.
Attorney Jones,
Yes, ma'am.
is there anything that the city of East Chicago can actually do to the police department?
Well, it's not up to us, unfortunately. We can't go enforcing non-existent rules. The point is they're trying to get the legislation to.
I understand that part.
And
But
that-
we did it as a safe city, and we passed it. And we went on and they took us to court and everything else,
I
so
think we're.
what I'm saying that is there anything, since I know that the state has the authority and everything, and they're trying to get it through there. But you got a school year coming up and, so just like we did with the safe city, is there anything that we could pass ourselves to say, so that they can at least take their kids to school, because truancy is a problem.
Right.
And so if we take, is there anything, can you just research it, let us know, if there's anything we can do, because like I said, we don't mind being taken to court, we go to court for help. And so that it's something that we can do, so they can maybe even get some type of card to say that, that I'm only using this for to take my child to school to go to work, because that's how they pay taxes supposed to get there. So, I mean, you could research that, because like I said, and then if they take us to court, they take us to court. I mean, they've done it before, for the dream map and everything else. So,
Yes, ma'am.
To piggyback on Councilwoman Orange, it's important that people are counted with our schools, with our population. We get tax dollars, we get tax money for people enrolled who are to send their children to school. We're not counted. And that's one of the benefits. And not to mention just having a valid ID to know, who the person is. So that was just, okay, thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, just want to thank the vote, and then also I know Lamina will have some words to share, but just to continue off the suggestion of the question on what the city can do with this resolution, as we're not just advocates, but we're folks that are living day by day with this danger, right, of driving without a driver's license. So it's a matter that's very urgent, and this resolution is really going to help ensure that the state knows that this city understands it and supports it, right, because it understands its community. So that's one of the things, is just at an individual level and as an elected official, speaking to those that represent the districts here in this county and in the city, to just, say, flag it, hey, we just passed this resolution. It'll help us as well. So when we come to speak, we don't have to tell the story again. And then in the matter of the city, I know that there, like you mentioned, there's a list, and there's other cities that are working towards a municipal ID or a city ID, and that's done through community organizations, because it has to be more so because of personal information that would be shared if city IDs were a thing. But city IDs, again, are mostly just symbolic, where the city agrees that it's going to support its community via these IDs, and say, hey, if you have one, it's another way of demonstrating that you belong in the city, and the city police can also recognize them. Naturally, they won't have any legal authority over a driver's license, but at least it's something that the city can continue to move towards too. So there is a local organization that's a nonprofit that could help with this. That would be something that the city could do to seek that, or at least you would be aware if there is an organization that approaches the city council with it in the future. But that's other ways other cities are tackling this.
Thank you.
I want to say thank you, everybody, for the support. It's not only me, it's for everybody for the document. And I want everybody is possible. You can hear my son, he has history for this. My son pushed me to fight for this because my son is citizen, but I think he has, okay. I'm sorry, I'm nervous. I want my son coming and say something. It's fine for everybody.
Your son?
Yeah.
Hello, good evening. My name is Andrew Garcia, her son. I just wanted to come and support and tell my testimony of why I support this movement. When I was younger, when I was 16, all of my friends, they were getting their driver's license. And I was the only one who couldn't, even though I was a citizen, because she didn't have a driver's license. We went to the DMV, they told me I couldn't get it because she didn't have it, and so I had to wait till I was 18 to sign for myself. And that was hard for me, seeing all my friends get their license, and I couldn't go out. She wouldn't take me out because she was scared to drive, obviously. So I didn't really have, any ways of, hanging out with friends or doing normal teenage things. Not even that, it's just like to go to work or anything. I wasn't able to get a car for myself. I had to ask for rides. I had to miss a lot of school events, a lot of school activities, a lot of family activities. And that's not even the important part. The important part was seeing my mom, struggle and being scared. Even the few times she would take me, I remember seeing her, frightened to drive, but she would do it just to make me happy. And I just don't want any other teenage kid like myself, even a citizen, to feel the way I did when my mom didn't get her driver's license, can't get her driver's license. That's why I'm here to support this movement. So I'm here for my mom. And thank you for your yes, for your vote.
Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, is there any old business? I'm sorry. Yeah, any old business? Councilman Hill?
Yes, once again, I'd like to thank the City of Chicago Public Service Department because they've done an excellent job in cutting my grass throughout the 3rd district, trimming trees throughout the 3rd district, doing things that the residents require and request. So I do think Public Works.
Any other old business? New business? I'm sorry.
Go back. I'm just gonna piggyback on trying to give Councilman Ransford for a reminder of Juneteenth. You had wanted to present a resolution.
Yes, I want to present a resolution in which the city acknowledge Juneteenth as a official holiday. Recognize it as an official holiday.
Yeah, you can add my name to that resolution.
I
You have all, everybody.
Absolutely. Full support?
Yeah, of course.
I like it. Any new business? Go ahead, Councilman Lyons.
Okay, so today is a really proud day for East Chicago, Central High School especially. Kanisha Green is here today. I want to honor her for receiving a full ride to Notre Dame University. Is deciding either between pre-professional studies, pre-med, chemical engineering, or basic science. But either way, Kanisha, we have your back. Always know that. And always remember, and I tell everyone that come into this chamber, to always give back to your community, because we need you. We need you and everyone else that achieves things. It doesn't matter if it's academics, sports, whatever. Hardworking people, we need them to come back and give back to the community. And I'd like to say that today, the person that donated the expense for this plaque, because it does, we've had several other students before you. I think one of your classmates is going to Johns Hopkins. You also have another classmate that's going to Notre Dame along with you. So that's really, really nice. And girl power too. Alicia Green, on your acceptance and full scholarship to Notre Dame University. Congratulations on behalf of the East Chicago Common Council.
Not today.
Thank you. So, hi, I'm Kanisha Green. Yeah, you butchered it a little bit, but that's okay. It's a hard name to pronounce. I'm Kanisha, and I actually didn't even think I would get into Notre Dame because this was not the only Ivy League school I applied to. This is the only one I got in. And to my surprise, I actually got a full ride. So that was also something great and special. And I'd like to thank you for honoring me, and thank you for being here for me, even though I know this meeting wasn't only about me. Thank you for letting me come in, and thank you so much for actually buying this. And you mentioned the people before me, Maylene. She's actually my best friend, the person that got into John Hopkins. Yeah, so I'm guessing it'll be the. Yeah, that's my mom.
That's your sister.
Yeah, and my sister. Thank you
Okay.
for birthing. Yes. Yeah, so just basically thank you. And all of my hard work and dedication in life wouldn't be without Chicago in general. The teachers here, like Mr. Lane, they're really something special to me. So just thank you.
Is that your principal here today?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Oh.
Would you like to say something?
Say a few words.
Yes.
Say a few words.
I wasn't expecting a speech, but once again, congratulations to all three young ladies that y'all honored here. And not only these three young ladies, we got a lot of students that's going to various schools on full rides. We got a couple going to Ball State. I know I must mention my niece is going to IU, graduating Chicago Central this year on a full ride. We have various other students that's going, but the schools that they went to, once again, is very, very special. I mean, they say a lot about East Chicago, and like I always say, when I speak, I'm a proud graduate of East Chicago myself. So still a resident of East Chicago, Mr. Francisco is doing a great job in my district. I must mention, but I just love to come up and speak and just say, I'm happy to be from East Chicago. Like Councilman Delano said, please always come back and give to your city. I won't want to give to any other city, nothing but love for East Chicago.
Well, thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
I was in the elevator with,
Councilman Hill.
I was in the elevator with the young ladies, and I usually ask questions. No, but I did this time, but I directed him to the council chamber. So congratulations. I could have been the first one to congratulate. I didn't ask no question. But again,
Okay,
congratulations.
let's move on to public expression. Paul Myers. Remind everyone that they have 3 minutes. Please state your name and your address.
Paul Myers in Marktown, Chicago. 10 days ago, Marktown residents woke up to find out that our streets had been closed for a new project. It wasn't a new project. 2016, the same engineer proposed a traffic circle just north of Marktown. Unfortunately, he didn't think twice and look at the National Register nomination. I'd like to point out that this register nomination was put in place in 1975, the year I came back from the military with a college degree. And it was done by none other than Richard Morrisroe. The best part of this is the section D. We all learn from the past. One way to do this is through books, but a better way to do is learn from objects and places that come down to us relatively intact from time to time. Marktown presents a living lesson in history and culture from the pioneer growth of the Calumet region. This region, which is America's industrial heartland, is quite young compared to other regions in this nation. Sometimes in such areas, the concern for history is lost, but here, there is an opportunity to preserve the Marktown community as a living and useful landmark, genuine architectural and cultural significance for the Calumet region, the state, and the country. The Marktown area is an important cultural resource which should be restored and accurately preserve the intentions of the original design. I put out a newsletter, which I hadn't done in a number of years. I made sure you all got a copy of it. I'm somewhat offended that nobody bothered to tell us what was going on. The only reason we got the street squared away again and people not going the wrong way on one-way streets at 40 miles an hour is that Reeve Riley stepped in and made sure that nobody could come in on the Broad Street wrong way. I'm tired of yelling at people to stop at stop signs and going the wrong way, but that seems to help. So I don't like coming here a lot. I doubt if I come back, but then again, you never know. Thank you.
I'm not sure if you want to come forth and speak again, Angela Garcia and Dominga Cortez Olan, or did you guys? No, okay, okay. All right, motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion adjourned, made by Councilman Krasinski, seconded by Councilman Hill. Roll call, please.
Francisco.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Winfield.
Yes.
Orange.
Yeah.
Maloney.
Yes.
Francis.
Yes.
Monroe.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes. Meeting adjourned.
I give it up. 3 minutes.
I'm not president. I let you speak for half an hour.
Yes.
The only person that signs the claims. Still working on it. I was gonna tell you this.
Thank you.
Are we off? Recording? Yeah. Okay, we're done.
Hey, Seth, photo.